Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we continue reading from Canto 7, Chapter 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are hearing the instructions by Narad Muni to Yudhishthir Maharaj regarding the duties of civilized human beings. Does anyone remember what we read the last time?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We read that Narad Muni was telling that Krishna exists and he has so many energies. So all the energies belong to him and he exists separately. So Narad Muni was trying to explain this, that some people think that Atma is material as it is inside the body. So that's speculation. Soul is not material, and someone can think that matter is the cause of the soul, but that is also not correct. Soul is the one of the energies of Krishna, and master is another energy of Krishna, and the matter is the another energy of Krishna. So they both are energy, but it's the superior energy and the matter is the inferior, and everything exists simultaneously. Krishna is not gone inside any matter. So we worship a deity and not a chair, like what we were like remembering last time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So brings us to today's text, 62. Bhavad Bhavadvaitam Kriyadvaitam
Bhavadvaitam kriyadvaitam
Dravya Advaitam Tathatmanaha
dvavyadetam tathatmanaha
Vartayan Swanu Bhutyeha
vartayan swa anubhutayaha
Trin Swapnan Dhunute Munihi.
trin swapnan dhunote munihi.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After considering the oneness of existence, activity, and paraphernalia, and after realizing the self to be different from all actions and reactions, the mental speculator Muni, according to his own realization, gives up the three states of wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep. So, okay, we'll read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. The three words Bhava Advaita, Kriya Advaita, and Dravya Advaita are explained in the following verses. However, one has to give up all the non-duality. One has to give up all the non-duality of philosophical life in the material world and come to the actual reality in the spiritual world in order to attain perfection. So we may wonder, what are these three terms? Prabhupada is saying, okay, we'll hear about it in the later verses. So we have to come to understand that the reality is in the spiritual world. We are thinking the material world is the reality, that our real identity is the body. So we have to understand that the real identity is our spiritual identity. Karya Karana Vastva Aikya.
Karya karana vastu ekya.
Darshanam Patat Tantuvat
Darshanam pata tantuvat.
Avastutvat Vikalpasya
Avastutvat vikalpasya.
Bhav Advaitam Taduchyate.
Bhav advaitam tat uchyate.
When one understands that result and cause are one, and that the duality is ultimately unreal, like the idea that the threads of a cloth are different from the cloth itself, one reaches the conception of oneness called Bhavadvaita. Bhavadvaita means understanding everything as one. This is what Narad Muni is saying. the cloth is made of thread. But once the cloth is made, we cannot see the threads. One is going horizontal, one is going vertical. So the threads are placed in that way. And then the whole cloth is made. When the cloth is made, then we cannot see the threads. We can just see the cloth. So Bhavadvaita means understanding that cause and result are one. Yeah? And this is the result and this is the cause. So oneness, understanding that everything is one.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji.
Mhm.
So just one question,
Mhm.
that what are these three?
So this is what we are
Like,
trying to understand.
no, but like in what connection? Like, like they're the three kinds of Dvaita. Is it that?
Yeah,
Okay.
the mm,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
yeah, okay. Considering oneness of existence, because every Muni have their philosophy, right? So this is one of the
Okay. Yes.
philosophy.
Okay. Philosophy. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is one of the philosophy considering all oneness. So that's
Okay. Yeah.
Bhavadvaita.
Hmm.
Okay. Then Karya Karana Vastva Aikya.
Karya vastu ekya.
Darshanam Patatantuvat. Oh, we just did
Dars.
that?
Yeah, you
Yeah, I'm
just, yeah.
sorry. Yeah, we
No,
just
no,
did.
no.
Yad Brahmani Pare Sakshat.
Yad Brahmani Pare Sakshat
Sarva Karma Samarpanam.
Sarva Karma Samarpanam
Mano Vaktanubhi Partha.
Manovaktanubhi Partha
Kriya Advaitam Taduchyate.
Kriya Advaitam Tad Uchyate.
My dear Yudhishthir, Parth. When all the activities one performs with his mind, words, and body are dedicated directly to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one reaches oneness of activities called Kriya Advaita. So, Parth, we hear Krishna calling Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Parth. Here, Narad Muni is calling to Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parth, son of Pratha, right? So, the Krishna consciousness movement is teaching people how to come to the stage of dedicating everything to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Kriya Advaita. uh, to engage, to act for the pleasure of Krishna with mind, body, and words. For the service of Krishna. Mind, body, and words are dedicated directly to service of Supreme Lord. One reaches Kriyadvaita. So Prabhupada is saying Krishna consciousness movement is teaching that, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9:27, Yat karoshi yad ashnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. So, this is Karma Yoga, dedicating all our activities to Krishna. If whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we think, and whatever we plan is for the advancement of the Krishna consciousness movement, this is oneness. There is no difference between chanting for Krishna consciousness and working for Krishna consciousness. On the transcendental platform, they are one. But we must be guided by the spiritual master about this oneness. We should not manufacture our own oneness. Because one may say, okay, I know what to do. I know what I have to do. But do we actually know what we have to do? That's where we have to follow the instructions of the bona fide representative of Krishna. We have to follow the instructions of the devotee. Because the pure devotee, he understands how to serve Krishna. So he knows how to engage us also in service of Krishna. So then one may say, oh, that means I don't have to chant, I just have to work for Krishna. Arjuna, Krishna is telling Arjuna, whatever you do, do it for me. Arjuna is not chanting. Arjuna is fighting the battle of Kurukshetra for Krishna. It's a direct order by Krishna to Arjuna. You fight. In this way, you will please me. So, what we have to do? We have to chant. Why? Lord Chaitanya is saying that you chant. This is the Yuga Dharma we have been given, that we have to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, follow the four regulative principles. Then we will understand how to offer all our activities to Krishna. So, on the absolute platform, Prabhupada is explaining, there is no difference because chanting for Krishna, chanting is also for pleasure of Krishna. Working in Krishna consciousness is also pleasure of Krishna, but one needs to know how to do it. But we have to chant. That's the instruction that is given to us for this age of Kali. Because one may use this as an excuse and say, "Oh, okay, I don't need to chant." No, we work. We chant also, and whatever we do, we have to offer that to Krishna. So this is karma yoga. What we like to do, we do that, offer the result to Krishna. We want to give something, that give to Krishna. We like to eat something, first offer to Krishna, then eat. Is that okay? So karma yoga.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So the Kriya Dvait is Karma Yoga, right?
yeah. Kriya Dvait. Yeah, linking all the Kriya activity, right? Kriya.
Yeah, activities. Yeah, Kriya is
Yeah.
activity. Okay.
Okay. Atma Jaya Sutadinam.
Atmajaya
Atmajaya Sutadinam
Anyesham Sarvadehinam.
Anyesham
Anyam
Sarvadehinam
Sarvadehinam
Yat Swartha Kamayor Aikyam.
Yet
Yatso
Swartha
Arthakamayo
Kamayor Aikyam
Dravya Advaitam Taduchyate.
Drav Advaitam Tad Uchyate.
Uchyate.
When the ultimate goal and the interest of oneself, one's wife, one's children, one's relatives, and all other embodied living beings is one. This is called Dravya Advaita or oneness of interest. The actual interest of all living entities. Indeed, the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead. This is the interest of one's own self, one's wife, one's children, one's disciples, and one's friends, relatives, countrymen, and all humanity. So this is what we are, Dravadvetam, understanding our real self-interest. What is our real self-interest?
Going back to Godhead.
Yes. So that is our self-interest and also the interest of all living entities. So this is Dravya Advaita. The Krishna consciousness movement can give directions for management, but everyone can partake in Krishna conscious activities and reach the ultimate goal, which is known as Swartha Gatim. So when we say Swartha, Swa Artha, Swa of the self, Artha, what is when in our interest, the real Swarth is actually to go back to Godhead. Doesn't mean selfishness. Sometimes we may think it's selfishness. The real self-interest is to go back to Godhead. Swartha Gatim. This objective of everyone's interest is Vishnu, but because people do not know this, Nate vidu Swartha Gatim he Vishnu. They are making various plans by which to fulfill so many concocted interests in life. We can see that practically, the whole world. Yeah, we are misguided. There's so much propaganda pulling us in all different directions. What to do, what to do. But here, Prabhupada is saying the Krishna consciousness movement is trying to bring everyone to the highest interest. The process may be differently named, but if the aim is one, People should follow it to achieve the ultimate goal in life. So ultimate goal, to love Krishna, to love God, revive our love of God. So processes may be differently named. We may have different religious processes, but the goal is to love God. That is the ultimate aim. And that is when actually we will be truly happy, truly blissful. Unfortunately, people are thinking of different interests, and blind leaders are misleading them. Everyone is trying to reach the goal of complete happiness materially. Because people do not know what complete happiness is, they are materially diverted toward different interests. It's true, there is so much propaganda that our happiness is in material things. Buy this, you will be happy. Get this car, you'll be happy. Buy this clothes, you will be happy. Eat this, you will be happy. Go visit this destination, you will be happy. There's so much advertising, so much propaganda going on that it makes us think, yes, yes, let me do this, I'll be happy. Let me do that, I'll be happy. Because after all, we are all searching for happiness. The soul is Ananda Chinmayo Bhyasat, always blissful. And so now, in the modern civilization, we are being taught to find happiness in material things, material life, without understanding actually there's no happiness in material life. Krishna is saying, Dukhalayam Ashasvatam. This material world is temporary world full of miseries. So real happiness is in the spiritual world. Real happiness is when we can revive our relationship with Krishna. This is what Narad Muni is trying to explain to us. That revive relationship to Krishna. Engage in devotional service, revive the relationship. Don't get so distracted by so many material things. Sure, we are inside the material body, so of course we will need material things. We need, but we have to understand that, okay, I am not this body, I'm inside the body. For the maintenance of the body, I will need all this. But my happiness is actually in relation to Krishna. So the more we hear, the more we chant, the more we can become happy, the more we can engage in pleasing Krishna under the direction of a pure devotee, the more we can be happy. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Shilpa,
Hare
I wanted
Krishna.
to ask you,
Hmm.
is Swartha, no, is uh happiness of what the sweat self, is it? No.
Swarthagatim, ultimate
Yeah,
goal.
ultimate goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Swarti is again different, right? Because Swarti, when we say, no, this, like we are so, like we are Swarti, means
So
we
that's
are
what we have to
selfish.
understand. But
Like, we think of ourselves only, not of others.
so actually we have to understand what is the swarth. We are
Swart.
thinking, when we are thinking swarth, swa artha. Swa means self, artha, what is good. So we are thinking in material terms that it is selfishness. But what is the real swarth? To revive our Krishna consciousness. Arth, what is needed, required, what is in our benefit. Yeah.
Okay.
So actually the real swarth is when we can become Krishna conscious. We are taking it in the material sense that it is selfishness. But what we
Mm,
need to do is do the activities so that we can revive our Krishna consciousness. And that is not selfishness. That is our real self-interest. We are actually taking care of ourselves then. When we can take time out for ourselves to hear, to chant, to worship Krishna, serve
mm,
Krishna, remember Krishna, then we are not being selfish. Then we are actually taking care of our self-interest.
Mm. The real,
Yeah,
interests of what
yeah,
is of ourselves.
yeah. So this is what we don't even know what's our real self-interest. And then we act selfishly in material terms, you know?
Yeah, true. Mm.
Mm. Yad yasya vani siddham syad
Yat
Yat
yasya vani siddham
Yadvam
syad
syad
yena yatra yato nripa
yena
yena yatro
yatra
yatan
yatam
sa tene heta karyani
sateni heta
Satena
karyani
karyani
naro nanyer anapade.
naro
na
nanyir anapadi.
anapadi.
In normal conditions, in the absence of danger, O King Yudhishthir, a man should perform his prescribed activities according to his status of life with the things, endeavors, process, and living place that are not forbidden for him and not by any other means. This instruction is given for all men in all statuses of life. Generally, instruction for all men in all statuses of life. Generally, society is divided into Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Brahmacharis, Vanaprasthas, Sannyasis, and Grahasthas. So we know which are the ashrams, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the Varnas and the ashrams. Okay, everyone must act according to his position and try to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for that will make one's life successful. What do we get out of this? Comments.
We should do our duty. If I'm a housewife, then I should do my duty, but I should keep Krishna in center.
Yes, that's right.
To
That's
please the
right.
Supreme. Yeah, to
Yeah,
please Krishna.
act. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What's Neha? What
Yeah.
were
So,
you
like
saying?
all
No,
my
like,
activities
yeah,
should be to
whatever we
make
do
Krishna
is to
happy.
please,
Is to
Krishna.
To make
please
Krishna
Krishna.
happy. Yes.
That's
Keep
right.
Krishna center.
So, whatever is our own position, everyone must act according to his position. So, we have to understand that everyone's position is different. What happens, what we focus on, that this one is doing like this and this one is seeming happy. So, let me imitate that person and I will become happy. Instead of understanding what is my own interest, that this is my position and let me try to please Krishna in my own position. No, right? So the whole
Yes.
world, yeah, that's what
Yes.
happens. The whole world, we look at each other and then we get envious and then we forget actually what we have to do. We are trying to become someone else all the time. Whereas all we have to do is understand who we are and please Krishna in whatever capacity we are able to please Krishna. So this was instructed in Naimisharanya Atap Pumbir Vijashreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasha Swanusthitasya Dharmasya Samsider Haritoshanam. Samsitir Haritoshanam. O best among twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging his prescribed duties, dharma, according to caste divisions and order of life, is to please the Lord Hari. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, that's the goal of life. Please Krishna. Whatever our position may be, we don't need to artificially try to change our position because all our energy and time goes then in trying to change our position. Whereas we just have to understand, okay, this is my position. Let me serve Krishna to my best capability right now. So this is Bhagavatam 1 to 13. Everyone should act according to his occupational duties, just to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then everyone will be happy, right?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, because we are all trying to become somebody we are not. And then our time, energy goes in that. Then it creates so many all these negative emotions. So if we
So
actually
then,
want to be
Shilpa,
happy,
just one thing, yeah, that is absolutely right, that in our position, but then sometimes if we get motivated in a positive way from someone else, then is that okay?
what do you
In
mean?
our own position,
Yeah,
if like, yeah, that's
positive.
okay, right?
Yeah, positive motivation is always needed. No, see, it
Yeah,
doesn't mean
okay,
we don't progress.
okay.
It doesn't mean we have to stop progress. No,
Hmm.
life means to
Hmm.
progress. Progress
Hmm.
where? Nivriti marg, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
That has to go on.
Okay.
We gradually increase our Krishna consciousness.
Hmm. Hmm.
Progress may needs to be there, but the idea is that whole world looks at each other and thinks another person is happy. Let me try to
Ah,
imitate
okay.
another one.
Okay.
So we
Hmm.
completely forget what's the focus.
Hmm. Hmm.
The goal is not to become like someone else. The goal is
Hmm.
let me understand who I am and let me
Hmm.
please Krishna with
Hmm.
whatever way that I can please Krishna.
Hmm.
This is what here we are trying to understand.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, take it. Okay. Eter anyascha vedokter
Etes anyascha ved utte
vartamana swakarmabhi
वर्तमाना स्वकर्मभिः
grihepi asya gatim yayad
गृहे अपि अस्य गतिं यायात्
rajam stad bhakti bhannaraha.
राजंस्तद्भक्तिभाक् नरः.
O king, one should perform his occupational duties according to these instructions, as well as other instructions given in the Vedic literature, just to remain a devotee of Lord Krishna. Thus, even while at home, one will be able to reach the destination. The ultimate goal of life is Vishnu, Krishna. Therefore, either by Vedic regulative principles or by materialistic activities, if one tries to reach the destination of Krishna, that is the perfection of life. Just as we heard in the previous purport, there may be so many processes, but the goal has to be to revive our love for Krishna, to please Krishna. Ultimate goal of life is Krishna. So the goal has to be set first. Then our activities also we will be able to act in that way. Like how we also make our goals, our weekly goals, our daily goals, monthly goals. Okay, in 1 month, I have to do this, this, this. I have to improve in this way. I have to move in this direction. It could be our health goals, right? We may have health goals. We may have career goals. We may have family goals, social goals. So, uh, under, but above all, we have to understand our ultimate goal is Krishna. So Krishna should be the target. Everyone should try to reach Krishna from any position of life. Krishna accepts service from anyone. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9:32, Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepisyo papa yonaya striyo vaishyas tatha shudras te api yanti param gatim. Hosana pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination. It does not matter what one's position is. If one aims at reaching Krishna by performing his occupational duty under the direction of the spiritual master, his life is successful. So Krishna is saying doesn't matter where you're born, which gender you're born, which caste you're born, which the Krishna never speaks of caste actually. That's something we created. But which ashram you're born or which varna you're born. Bhagavatam says we are all born Shudras in this age of Kali. And we, by our activities, we have to raise ourselves to the Brahmanical platform. So anyone can be raised on the Brahmanical platform, provided one takes guidance from a devotee. So it is not that only sannyasis, vanaprastha and brahmacharis can reach Krishna. A grahast, a householder, can also reach Krishna, provided he becomes a pure devotee without material desires. So that's what the devotee helps us. Devotee, like association is like that, right? That we take on the color of the association. Association is like a crystal. The crystal takes the color that it comes in contact with. As we say, right? Jaisa sang vaisa rang. So pure devotee. He's on the transcendental platform, no material desires. So by following his instruction, we can also become pure devotees. So an example of this is cited in the next verse. Any comments? Or we'll go to the next verse.
All okay.
Okay. Yatha hi yuyam nripate vadustyajat
यथा हि यूयं नृपदेव दुस्त्यजात्
apad kanat uttaratat manaha prabhu.
आपद्गनात्
आपगनात् उत्तरात्
उत्तरतात्मनः
मनः
प्रभुः
प्रभु
Yat pada panke ruhasevaya bhavan.
यत्पादपङ्के युरुहसेवया भवः
भवान्
Ahara sinirjita dig gajaha kratun.
आहारशीतनिर्जतद्विग्गजः
गजः
क्रतुः
क्रतून्
O King Yudhishthira, because of your service to the Supreme Lord, all of you Pandavas defeated the greatest dangers posed by numerous kings and demigods. By serving the lotus feet of Krishna, you conquered great enemies who were like elephants. Thus, you collected ingredients for sacrifice. By His grace, may you be delivered from material involvement. Placing himself as an ordinary householder, Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from Narad Muni how a Griha Mudadhi, a person who is entangled in household life and who thus continues to remain a fool, can be delivered. Narad Muni encouraged Maharaj Yudhishthir by saying, "You are already on the safe side. Why? Because you, along with your entire family, have become a pure devotee of Krishna." So Maharaj Yudhishthir, he's a householder, he's a king, he's not a brahmachari or a sannyasi. He's, he's doing his duties. So, but he's a devotee. He's a pure devotee of Krishna. By Krishna's grace, the Pandavas conquered in the battle of Kurukshetra. The Pandavas conquered in the battle of Kurukshetra and were saved from many dangers posed not only by kings, but sometimes even by the demigods. Thus, they are a practical example of how to live in security and safety by the grace of Krishna. So each time the Pandavas were in trouble, Krishna saved them each and every time. Yeah, Krishna never forgot them, like they never forgot Krishna. Krishna says, "I'm in the heart of the devotee. Devotee cannot live without me. I cannot live without the devotee." And this was practically seen when we hear about the lives of the Pandavas. Our Krishna consciousness movement, everyone should follow the example of the Pandavas who showed how to be saved by the grace of Krishna. Our Krishna consciousness movement is intended to teach how everyone can live peacefully in this material world and at the end of life return home back to Godhead. So this is, we can see Prabhupada's mood here. He wants to bring everyone back home to Godhead. live peacefully while we are here in this world. Yeah, that's his mood and mission. He wants to teach us how we can live peacefully now and at the end of life go back home, back to Godhead. Everyone. In the material world, there are always dangers at every step. Padam padam yat vipadam na tesha. Always danger at every step. We don't know what's coming up in the next moment, right? That's why it said it's like so unstable, like like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Bhajo mana, that bhajan is there. So that our life is also so anything can happen, or even with not our life, but basically anything can happen. It's danger at every step. Nonetheless, if one takes shelter of Krishna without hesitation and keeps under the shelter of Krishna, can easily cross the ocean of nations. So in this danger, Krishna's lotus feet is like an umbrella which gives us shade from this danger. It gives us shelter from this danger. Is Krishna's lotus feet. And the devotee, he's attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. He's completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna. He's taken the shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. So, Samashrita ye pada pallava plava mahat padam punya yasho murare. To the devotee, this great ocean of nations becomes like a puddle of water in the hoof print of a cow. This ocean of material existence, material world is called an ocean. It's not easy to swim an ocean. But one who has taken shelter of Krishna, this entire ocean of material existence is reduced to a tiny, tiny puddle of water, tiny hoof print of a calf. Hoof print. Cow's hoof print is so small, and water in that is like tiny. You can just cross over it easily. That's how this material world becomes for a devotee of Krishna, because he's taken shelter of Krishna. Krishna says this material world very difficult to overcome, but one who surrenders to me can very easily cross beyond it. A pure devotee, without embarrassing himself by trying for elevation in so many ways, stays in the safest position as a servant of Krishna, and thus his life is eternally safe without a doubt. So he surrendered to Krishna and is under the protection of Krishna, under the shelter of Krishna. As we said, that those who surrender unto me, Krishna is saying, I deliver them. So the devotee is always surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna. Any comments, questions? So here Narad Muni is saying, doesn't matter. I'm sorry, Hare Krishna.
No, it's okay. First you can say, then I can say it later.
So Narad Muni is saying it doesn't matter if you're whichever position one is in. One may be a woman, one may be a king, one may be working, everyone has material duties to do. But become a devotee of Krishna. And in this way, live peacefully in this material world, and at the end of the life, go back home, back to Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada is saying this is what the Krishna consciousness movement is trying to teach everyone. Sorry, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was just saying that how we like how we read that when we read about Pandavas and pure devotees, then this is stamped that yes, Krishna is there for each one of them, and each one of us, we just have to remember him. Like the other day I was reading about Haladni Mataji, and like how we read that man karm or vachan से उन्होंने याद किया. So like there was this deficiency of food and she did not have food. She was serving the Jagannath deities in New Vrindavan, and then there was no food that day. She just had lemons, and she just chopped the lemon. She's a very, very pure devotee. So I'm not saying that we can copy her or something. No, no imitation. But I'm just telling that how we can feel the love of Krishna in the story for the pure devotees. So then she just chopped the lemon and she just offered it to Krishna, and she put it some in the water and she served and offered it to Krishna. But then in her mind, she also offered all the more vegetables and fruits that she didn't had, but she offered. And then there was a knock on the door, and she heard that somebody was coming and going. There were footsteps, and then she checked later. Then she found that they were the baskets of peaches, apricots, apples, and berries and cherries. And then she said that some devotee has sent, somebody has sent it to. So then she said that, oh wow, like she had just offered them in the mind, and then this all came. So like this is like, like how the connection with the pure devotees. So we feel that wow. So like how you're saying that this, for a devotee, Krishna is always there in their heart, and in Krishna's heart it's a reciprocation, how we have read always. So
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. Like, like just even reading about them purifies you a little. Yes.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. A lot. Yes.
That's true. Yeah, no, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, Krishna reciprocates. Krishna reciprocates. Yes, thank you for sharing that. So let's stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta
Jai.
Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.